what's that noise?
This chair. I must have crossed it with a one-string fiddle. Listen, see if I can make it play the Narcissus.
Be quiet, Mr. Fields. Here, give me that.
Okay, take it. Guess he's nervous. You in the show, too?
No, there weren't any seats left, so they let me sit up here on the stage. What's the name of this show?
I don't know. I think it's a Lucky Strike program.
Mr. Fields, didn't you promise not to mention the product?
Well,
That's the announcer's job.
He asked me, didn't he? You gotta be civil if a man asks you civil questions.
Yes, but...
My father was a Civil War veteran. And I've got a brother who's a civil engineer.
Oh.
It's in the family to be civil.
Be quiet until I return. I'll be right back.
Bit grouchy, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Hey, I'll give you one of my cards if I can find my card case. It's not in this pocket either. You don't get half your stuff back from the cops these days. Have you seen the new police stations they're building all around the country?
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're wonderful. It's a pleasure to be in.
Say, I think your friend is trying to get your attention.
He's no friend of mine. He's the announcer. We've had a couple of run-ins already. Can't mention the product. You just heard me tell him off. Here he comes.
Mr. Fields, the microphone picks up every word you say. Now, be quiet. You understand English, don't you?
I'll tell you a very funny story about that.
Mr. Fields, I implore you. Later on, when you do your sketch, the orchestra will keep quiet. Kindly show them the same courtesy.
Courtesy?
Now, please listen to the music. You evidently don't like music.
Well, I won't say I like it, and I won't say I dislike it. Let me put it this way. I don't mind it. When I studied the hand organ...
But surely, Mr. Fields, everyone must have at least one favorite selection.
You ever hear that song, Throw the Horse Over the Fence with some hay?
Shh.
Man, I won't let you mention hay on this program.
No. Mr. Fields, it'll be better for all concerned if you go out in the hall until we need you. There you can do anything. Stand on your head for all I care.
I can hardly stand on my feet.
Get out.
Got a cigarette on you?
No, get out. Come on. Get out. Get out.
I'm not having a look. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Take the coat.
All right, then. If you want to stay in here, you sit down and keep quiet. They're calling.
See that big lump trying to rough me up?
Yeah, he's pretty tough.
I wish he was a champion of the world. Got a cigarette on you?
Yeah, I've got one. It's a Lucky Strike.
Don't let them hear you mention Lucky Strike. They'll throw you out, too.
Well, why? Don't they like Lucky Strike?
Sure, everybody does. To my mind, it's the finest cigarette in the country.
Mr. Fields, right out this door, please.
Come on.
Phew. There, that's a relief.
Best cigarette in the country, in the city, too, for that matter, you lug.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the dramatic highlight of the evening, where we trace the weekly adventures of Mr. Whipsnade at work and at play. Tonight, we find him very much at play.
Tell him who plays the part.
Huh? Oh, yes. W.C. Fields plays the part of Larson E. Whipsnade.
Not Larson E. Whipsnade. Larson E. Whipsnade. Break it up.
If you'll just take a moment to get into character, Mr. Fields, I'll go on and set the scene.
Okay.
Tonight, Mr. Whipsnade is giving a party in celebration of having just inherited the department store. But it seems that his legal advisor has more serious things on his mind. As our curtain rises, we look into the quiet, suburban home of his attorney. He's reading the paper. His wife is knitting.
Chauncey, dear, I think the house is on fire.
Think, don't you know?
I can smell something burning, can't you?
Yes, I can. What is it?
Well, I better have a look. Ah, Chauncey! The whole hall is full of smoke, and it's the cook's night out.
Now, that's a silly remark.
Chauncey, hurry, do something.
Well, the first thing to do is phone the fire
But
department.
the phone's in the hall. You can't get to it. You'll suffocate in that smoke.
I'll get to it, all right.
Oh, that must be the fire department calling us. They must have seen the smoke.
Quiet. You think can't hear this phone at all. Can't think I hear a thing here. Hello?
Hello. Is this the fire department?
Hello, that's you, Bigglehole?
Yes.
Bigglehole.
Yes, it's me. But I'm
Guess
trying...
who this is? Larson E., your old friend, Larson E. Whipsnade.
Yeah, how do you do? Will you please get off the wire?
How's everything, Bigelhole? All quiet along the Wang Fu? I haven't cut off. Here, I'll call him back. Oh, Whipsnade again. Say, I'll tell you why I called you up. I'm thinking of getting away from all this, Bigelhole.
Mr. Whipsnade.
To call the open road. Get into the trailer and take along only the bare necessities of life. Food, clothing, and a blonde.
Mr. Whipsnade, I beseech you, get off the line.
Yes, I have one in mind. She's a softball player. Plays for the Dipsy Doodle Dairy Company. Plays catcher. Bit on the heavy side around the ankle. Sliding into faces, I suppose.
Look, Mr. Whipsnade, I've got to report
Yeah,
fire.
she's got lots of fire. Unusual for a blonde.
Mr. Whipsnade, look, I'm afraid you'll have to hang up.
Hang us up? Not a chance in the world. My aunt, Mayhem Whipsnade, died. Choked to death eating a cream puff. Left me half interest in the department store and a quarter interest in the distillery.
Yeah, but look here,
Yeah, it's too bad it wasn't around the other way. Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
please,
they
Mr.
want to
Whips-
make me manager, janitor or something. Hello? Haven't cut off again. That operator must be drunk. Here, I'll get her back.
Hello.
Whipsnade again. I need your advice, Bigelhole. You think I'd be happier in a department store or a brewery?
Yes.
More work in a department store is my guess.
Oh, dear. This is terrible.
That nasty cough you got there, Bigelhole. Reminds me of one I picked up in Budapest.
Mr. Whipsnade, listen.
I'm listening. Very good. You're coughing better. Bit on the bronco side.
Listen to what I'm trying to say.
Huh?
Our house is on fire.
Your house?
Yes.
Your house on fire?
Yes.
Well, where are you talking from?
From the house.
From the house that's on fire?
Yes.
Godfrey Daniel. Are you doing anything about it?
Oh,
You should be calling the fire department.
I will if you clear the line.
Well, I'll tell you what listen. I'll tell
What's name?
Say, shut that door, will you? Serve those yaps sarsaparilla from now on.
Look here, Mr. Whipsnade.
Fire ought to scourge the mankind. Of course, fire at sea is even more dreadful.
Yes, I know, but...
I remember 7 years ago. It was my first trip down to the Antipodes.
Look, Mr. Whipsnade.
Huh?
Mr. Whipsnade, this is no time for anecdotes.
Artichokes, yes, in abundance. I was down there representing the California Fruit Growers Association. Fire at sea. Had fun to it all, though.
Mr. Whipsnade.
Even the captain got seasick.
Mr. Whipsnade, I ask you to please... Oh...
Mr. Whipsnade.
Oh, that's you, Mrs. Bigelhole? Good evening. Long time no see. Well, let's drop over and meet the mob.
We are having a fire at present.
Oh, couldn't you get over for just a little while?
If you know what's good for you, you'll get over this wire. We wish to call the fire department.
Oh, certainly, Mrs. Bigelhole. Say, you'll find them a noble body of men, the fire laddies or smoke eaters. Day and night, always ready, with a clang, clang, clang. What is that sound? I remember that one there.
Will you hang up, Owen?
Oh, absolutely. Now, listen, if there's anything else I can do, Mrs. Bigelhole, don't hesitate to phone me. Phone's on fire, just telegraph. Fire in the home, poor Mr. and Mrs. Bigelhole. I better get him again.
Hello.
Hello, Bigelhole. Have you got the fire department yet?
I don't get a chance to. You keep calling back.
Huh?
Look, Mr. Whipsnade, my hall is filled with smoke. My lungs are filled with smoke.
What brand are you smoking?
My wife has disappeared.
How's the roof holding up?
I don't know.
Oh, say, by the way, Bigelhole, you know the technique of calling the fire department?
Oh.
I tell you, you can usually find the correct number in the front cover of the telephone book.
With what may be my last breath, Mr. Whipsnade, I implore you to...
Yeah, I know. Here, wait, I'll get the phone book. Look up the number for you. Poor devil. The book's right here. I can reach it easily.
I can...
Glassware. Knocked over nearly a full quart, too. Only 2 drinks out of that bottle.
Look, Mr...
Very curious thing. There was a Persian cat laying right in the top of my book phone.
Yes, but don't you see...
Bookcase. Talking pet flicker. Don't own a cat either. Must belong to the neighbors. Might have been a big rat with long fur. I know we have rats.
I know, but look here.
Here's the book. Wait, man. Let me see. Emergency call. Now listen attentively. Emergency. If you call or dial operator, say Bigelhole. That's it in a nutshell. You simply call the operator. Where is he? Hello. Hello? 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 Oh, I bet the wires are down, too. I'll get the operator on this now.
Operator?
Huh?
Operator?
That you, operator?
Yeah.
I thought it was that chair squeaking again. Say, operator, can I report a fire by saying to you I want to report a fire?
Yeah.
Wonderful. What an improvement on the old way of running out in the street and yelling fire until your lungs give out.
What's your street number, please?
My street number? 605 North Bluebird.
605 North Bluebird?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonder what she wanted my number for. Somebody tapping on the door. We have company. Oh, it's a fire company. What's that? Oh, hook and ladder. I thought it was those drunken painters back again.
Say, where's the fire? I don't even smell smoke.
Fire? Oh, yeah, fire. I know where there's a good fire. Over at my seat, up at my lawyer's house. Just let me make a call here. I'll find plenty of work for you tonight.
Hello.
Hello, Bigelow. I know you're coughing a million. Hurry, just Whipsnade. Say, I've got the fire department in my house.
Oh, I knew it'd be you.
Hey, you wouldn't like to come over for a cocktail and ride back on the hook and ladder with us, would you? Or are you too busy?
Mr. Whipsnade, all our belongings are gone. All our clothing burned up.
Your clothes are burned up. Aren't you cold? You're getting them all. You're running around a damp house with any clothes on. Good gracious, fire in the home.
Well, Bill, how's every little thing?
I never pay attention to any little things, Don, excepting Charles.
Why, don't you like Charlie, Bill?
Oh, he talks too much when Bergen's around. When he's alone, he doesn't open his mouth. Hello, Toothache.
Hello, Mr. Field.
Swamp Root, I thought I plowed you under last week.
What's the matter? Don't you love me, Mr. Field?
Yes, I do, Charles. I was going to buy you a little present today, a coat.
Oh, what kind of a coat, Mr. Field?
Coat of paint.
Oh.
I've always thought a shellacking would do you good.
Yeah? Well, why didn't you get it for me?
I tossed a coin that said heads, a coat of shellac for Charles, and tails, a bottle of tonsil varnish for myself.
So what happened, Mr.
I
Field?
tossed the coin and went down a sewer.
Oh.
Just status quo.
Bill, what have you been doing over the weekend?
I bought a hotel, Don.
Well, I didn't know you knew anything about hotels,
Oh,
Bill.
yes. I was doing a hotel in Bolivia, South America.
Well, how do you like the Bolivians, Bill?
I love the Bolivians. I had a brother who was killed in Bolivia. Any Bolivians around here? Yes, Brother Felix Wendell Schaefer Fields. Shot at the microphone for eulogizing Bolivia. We shot through the heart from the top gallery of the theater.
Shot for praising the country, Bill?
Yes, he said the country was too good for the people that lived there. I love Bolivia.
Well, what did they do with the man who shot your brother, Bill? Did they hang him?
No, the verdict was that the man who shot him was one of the best shots in Bolivia.
Boy, I don't think I'd care so much for the Bolivians if they do things like that, Bill.
Don't stand so close to me when you talk that way, Don. I love Bolivians. What was that? I never met a Bolivian that I wasn't passionately fond of.
Oh, that was only a door slamming, Bill.
I was in love with a girl in Bolivia once, Don.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Charles, you're nothing but a tease.
Did you ever marry the girl, Bill?
No, she's snoring asleep, Don. In fact, that was her name, Sonora.
Do you love Bolivians better than me, Mr. Field?
Yes, Charles, I love Bolivians next to you. I wish there were a couple next to you right now.
Well, would you like to go to Bolivia again, Mr. Field?
How would you like to go down to the sawmill and play hopscotch among the buzzsaws?
Bill, Tell me more about your hotel in Bolivia. How did you operate it?
Oh, we operated on the American and European plan, Don. We really ran the hotel on the American plan, but the guests paid off on the European plan.
Are the Bolivians easy to cater to, Bill?
Not exactly, Don. A guest in the hotel complained to me one day. Said, Senor Fields, the towels in my room are not large enough to dry your face on.
So what did you say, Bill?
I said, very well, we'll send you less water. I did everything to accommodate them, Don.
Well, did that satisfy him, Bill?
Now, he was always complaining. One day he said the swimming pool was so dirty you couldn't swim in it. I said, what do you think those frogs are doing, treading water? There's two windows in my room and only one screen. The flies are coming in the other window.
Say, do you know, Mr. Fields, you know how to get rid of that red nose of yours?
Yeah, drink until it turns blue.
Go ahead, Bill. The flies were coming in the window without a screen in it.
Yeah, I said, well, take the screen out of the window that they're not coming in and put the screen in the window that they are coming in. Very stupid, some of those fellows.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bill.
Yeah. Hi, Bolivians. What was that, Don?
Nothing, Bill. Just another door slamming.
Oh, lock those doors, will ya? Same fellow fell asleep one day, Don. The flies crawled over his nose. One great big green bottle fly flew in the window, sit down on the end of his proboscis and bit him.
Yeah, well, what did he do then, Bill?
I put his hand up over his face, brushed his nose, and said, just for that, you all get off. You know it,
Yeah. Wasn't that the hotel you ran right next to a bowling alley?
Yes, it was, Charles, but it was so quiet you couldn't hear a pin drop.
He's crazy.
You're full of ticks.
Go ahead, Bill.
One day, going out the rear of the hotel, Don, to milk the elk.
Milk the elk?
Used to keep an elk there, Don. Cow's eggs boiled in elk's milk smothered with Bolivian onions is one of the rare delicacies of Bolivia.
Oh, yeah. Go on, Bill. Go on.
On the way to milk the elk behind the hotel, I saw Chief Okeechobee of the Appalachia Cola tribe.
That's quite a long name,
That
Bill.
was a tough one, too. Just a nickname, Don. Chief says, howl, pale face, all but the nose. Funny chief. Yeah. Quite a kidder. I said, and how? Okeechobee? The squaw was sitting under a tree feeding her papoose. She fell asleep and the baby started to cry. Rattlesnake approached.
Oh, rattlesnakes are horrible, Bill.
Oh, no, not Bolivian rattlesnakes, Don. They're full of intellect and the milk of humankind.
Is that so, Bill?
Yeah, the rattlesnake shook its rattles and amused the young papoose to prevent it from crying and waking its mother. The snake even stuck its tail. I'll get it right. Even stuck its tail in the baby's mouth so the baby could use it as a pacifier. Did it?
Did that the hard way.
Is that a true story, Bill?
I beg your pardon, Don.
I said, is that a true story?
If it isn't, I hope Charles breaks his leg. Both of them.
Oh, Bill, but you forgot to tell me about your brother.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Don. I inherit some of my absent-mindedness from him.
Well, what was his brother's name, Bill?
Oh, I'd answer any name, Don, and stand without hitching. He lost his mind from playing marmalade-peg.
Well, did he ever get it back again?
Oh, yeah, lost his mind. He forgot to play marmalade-peg and got his mind back again. But he's quite a student, Don.
Well, what did he study, Bill?
Oh, at the graduation exercises, the dean called my brother.
Dizzy Dean, I know.
No, Charles, call Hubble.
Oh.
He said, wipe the gum out of your ears, will you? Dizzy Dean called my brother out.
Out where, Bill?
He called him out at second base. What am I talking about?
You're talking about your brother, Bill.
Oh, thanks very much, Don. The dean said to my brother Hamilton.
Oh, his name is Hamilton, is it?
The dean said, Hamilton, you're now a full-fledged doctor.
Boy, I bet your brother was proud of that, huh?
No, Don, he wanted to be a lawyer. The dizzy dean said, but, my son, you have just completed 4 years in medical college.
So what did your brother say to that, Bill?
He said, I came here to be a lawyer, and I'll stay here until I am one. It was all mixed up, Don. He had marmalade peg on the brain.
Did he ever pass the bar?
That was his trouble. He never did. I had to cut a man's appendix out once. After the operation, the patient said, you forgot to cut out my appendix.
But what did your brother say, Bill?
Says, what do you think this is in the jar? The
patient says, look at him yourself.
Did your brother look at it?
He did. He said, great heavens, I've removed my own appendix.
That's
Crazy.
terrible, Bill.
Oh, yeah, but brother, yes. He was pleading a case once, and he was so absent-minded he saw it off the judge's leg. The jury laughed immoderately. No response from the
Boy,
audience.
he certainly was absent-minded.
Yes, he took after my cousin Penelope in that respect.
Well, you never
huh?
told me about your cousin Penelope.
Oh,
Was she
yeah.
pretty, Bill?
Oh, her face was so wrinkled, she looked like 7 miles of bad road. She had so many gold teeth, Don, she used to have to sleep with her head in the safe. Died in Bolivia.
Oh, Bill, it must be hard to lose a relative.
It's almost impossible.
Bill, tell me, whatever made you leave Bolivia?
I don't know, Don. I haven't found out to this day. I went to the governor's ball at Paz, Bolivia one night, and I woke up in the hospital next morning in Cucamonga, California.
Well, what happened, Bill?
I threw the covers off my pad and reached for the bell. The nurse came in and said, you've broken all cross-country records between here and Bolivia, and you're the only man alive who ever jumped clear across the Panama Canal. Says, whatever made you try to kiss the governor of Bolivia's wife?
Oh, well, that was a silly thing to do, Bill. Whatever made you do it?
I don't know, Don. Must have been something I drank.
Yes. How far is Bolivia from Cucamonga, Mr. Field?
Just one night's run, John.
Can I stay at your hotel, Mr. Field?
Yes, you can stand in the corner. I'll drive spikes in your head, and you can be the official hat rack.
Now, Bill, don't pick on Charlie that way.
Oh, he can't hurt me, Mr. Amici. I belong to the CIO.
CIO, eh? Can't injure Oaks.
No.
Come, Charles, let me take you for a little walk.
Where are we going, Mr. Field?
What do you care? You're not coming back. I love Bolivia.
Roll on, Bill.
The music, Professor. That music? There isn't much of it, is there? Not much body to it. Well, keep going. I'll hop on when you get faster and louder. The little song is entitled The Adventures of Michael Finn, familiarly known to his intimates as Mickey Finn. Very pretty title, if I may hazard an opinion.
Thank you, sir.
Did you write it?
No.
Oh, that's fine. Think you better put a little oil on it? Maybe a Vaseline to cold cream it, yeah. Now, there was once a country boy whose heart was full of joy of thee. He got claustrophobia from living in the open spaces. So he packed his portmanteau and he journeyed to the metropolis and engaged comfortable quarters with a respectable family in Yonkers, New York. I made very dear friendships in Yonkers in my younger days, Professor. Mr. Burton, proceed, yeah. His heart was set on becoming a banker and wearing a high silk hat. And to make people respect him until the very day they would put him in jail. Getting impatient, Mr. Burton?
Wait for Mr. Fields, Professor.
He secured a position on an ice wagon. I got the note wrong there, didn't I? Where his collateral was soon frozen. Collateral soon frozen is rather deep. But he worked diligently and served ice with alacrity. And it wasn't long before he had accumulated nearly $1,000 in his own right. I bet it slipped through his fingers like glue, don't you think so? This song has philosophy galore. He shunned even companions, and when they said he was a sissy, wait for those long C's, Professor.
maybe a musical critic in front. He would reply, go milk your goat, or shut up your big mouth. He's evidently a whiz at repartee, this character. He began to wear good clothes, and he had his adenoids removed. And he suffered sunburn tonsils caused from looking up at high structures. Wasn't that enough music there, was there? No. He called on a doctor who treated the poor for nothing and added it on to the rich Bill's poor, poor Bill's rich. I've done nothing. The doctor was hard of hearing. They should put better print on here. And then he convinced him that he was poor. So he charged him $50 and told him it was practically nothing.
Oh, Bill. Bill.
Did you ever hear me that sing one about Pincus and Milton down on the OH-10?
No, and I do not care to hear it. Thank you. Please now, please.
Am I through?
Yes, definitely.
Who pays off here? And I don't mean soap opera.
Did you ever expect trouble and look forward to it? Well, that's the spot I'm in right now, for with the arrival of Bill Fields, my trouble begins, and I love it. So come on, trouble, and welcome W.C. Fields. Hello, Bill. How you feeling?
I feel fine, Don. How are you?
Well, I was all right up to now.
Fear not, my Bonamy-chi. Get that one, Don? Isn't it good? Bonamy-chi. Rather tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, I got it.
I thought it up myself.
You did.
I had 2 elephants once.
Now, Bill. That's just one of the things you shouldn't say. Now, you know very well.
Don't tell me I know. I got a memorandum on the way in. Here it is. I'll read it to you, Don. Number 1. Don't mention the picture company you're working for.
That's correct. That's right.
They evidently mean Paramount Moving Picture Corporation. Adolf Zucker, the president.
Now, Bill, please.
Little fella.
Please.
I'm reading, Don. Number 2, don't mention the coffee concern you're working for.
That's right.
Jason Sanborn.
Oh, now, Bill, please.
I'm still reading, Don.
All right.
Donald Briggs will tell the public that Jason Sanborn coffee is put in bags scientifically treated to withstand the air, rain, elements, thunder.
Oh, now, Bill.
Protected against fire, theft, and cyclones while traveling in Mexico and the Dominion of Canada and the Gobi Desert of Mongolia.
Bill, please.
Jason Sanborn coffee and dinner sword eggs a la papa is relished by the Gobiites.
Well, are you through?
For the nonce, yes.
Okay. Now, don't number 3. Don't mention elephants. Elephants get under my skin.
You sure they're elephants, Don?
Now, not changing the subject, Bill. Where did you get that badge you're sporting on your manly chest?
Oh, this was given to me by Biscaloose.
You don't mean Sheriff Biscaloose.
I don't mean Pip and Dill's blind aunt. Biscaloose and I were very dear friends. I met him whilst vacationing in Alcatraz prison.
Alcatraz?
Yes, a big iron boarding house. Clang, clang, clang. We are the boys from Alcatraz.
Bill, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, I'm singing. We don't belong to the regulars. They send us every year. A little throaty there. Go ahead.
Look, what brought you to Alcatraz,
I was
Bill?
rehearsing Romeo.
Oh, you mean Romeo and Juliet?
No, just Romeo. In the midst of rehearsals, I was suddenly whisked away to Alcatraz.
Oh, you must have been a pretty bad actor.
There were extenuating circumstances, Don. I was very excited.
And they sent you to Alcatraz prison for rehearsing Romeo and Juliet?
Wait, Don. We had no balcony in our modest little home. So I had taken a ladder with me to a neighbor's chateau. I had gently placed the ladder against the balcony and with great caution ascended.
Yeah. Go on, Bill. You were ascending the ladder.
Oh, yes. Then suddenly, instead of Juliet, who should appear on the balcony but a new character in the guise of a constable? Followed by 3 other Mounties.
Mounties?
Well, imagine my great amazement and consternation when the officer suddenly discovered that I had been framed. Someone had inadvertently or maliciously placed a pearl necklace in my pocket.
Odd pieces of jewelry.
Yes?
A cameo of Martha Washington. Some knives and forks.
Yeah, go on, Bill.
And while I had my back turned, some villainous wag, some malcontent, evidently a red, had stuck a bag in my hands filled with silver. A silver dining set, 2 plates and 1 cup missing. Gold candelabra, one of the candles still burning.
One of the candles still burning?
Yes, that attracted the Mounties' attention. Don, the ignominy of it all.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Bill. You were framed.
Yes, I was framed like my poor dear father before me. He was a kindly old fellow, a picture of man. They finally framed him and hung him in the old courthouse in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Bill, how did you get that badge?
Oh, do you want me to tell the whole thing over again right from the beginning?
No. In fact, I'm sorry I heard it the first time.
Oh.
Excuse me, Don. Am I intruding?
Well, frankly, Edgar, I'm glad you're here.
I hope I didn't interrupt anything important.
Oh, not at all, Edwin, not at all.
Bill, I just came here to tell you something about Charlie.
I know enough about him already.
Now listen, Mr. Fields, I got a bone to pick with you.
Pick your head off.
Gee whiz, Mr. Fields.
Now, you've got Charlie all upset, Bill. He's tried all sorts of ways to make friends with you.
Yes, I've had people intercede for me, and I brought you a bouquet of flowers.
Nosegay, go on.
Now I don't know what to do nor where to go.
I can tell you where to go and what to do. If you want me to go into details...
I don't know. No matter what I say, it seems to be the wrong thing.
Then sew a button on your lip.
Now, Bill, Charlie really isn't feeling well at all. Look how pale he is.
I needs a new coat of paint and a little varnish fire foam. Good bad. Those teeth again.
Yeah.
Little furniture varnish.
Mr. Fields, my mind is made up. I'm determined to fight fire with fire.
You know what happens to the little boys who play with fire?
Don't mind Charlie, Bill. His bark is really worse than his bite.
I'll rip off his bark and bite off his limb.
This is going far enough. I've been a little gentleman up to now. But now, Mr. Fields, I'll clip you so help me, I'll mow you down. That's
Go where I'll sick a woodpecker on you.
Well, I don't know what to do about this, Bill. You know Charlie holds you very dear.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of deers, I saw a deer killed by a train this morning out in the country.
Was the deer on the railroad track, Mr. Fields?
Yeah, no. The train ran up into the woods after him. Caught him between 2 trees and pounced on him. What's the matter with that kid?
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. As usual, we get the invitations and Bill Fields gets the results. Thank you very much, W.C. Fields. His battered hat is a joy to behold. His bulbous nose is a warning signal, especially to Charlie McCarthy. His crooked cane is a magic wand. They all merge to produce W.C. Fields. Well, how you feeling, Bill?
I'm feeling fine, Don. I just finished reading the synopsis of my new picture, The High Cost of Dying. They're making it over.
Now, please, Bill. You must absolutely refrain from using any names on this program. I got a letter today from Chase, well, you know who I mean.
Yeah, Chase, I know. Did Sanborn right? I got a letter from the both. I'll read it to you. There it is. Mr. W.C. Fields, Esquire. Care of Townsend Club. Idlewild Lodge, local number 6, Cucamonga, California.
Now, please, Bill, do you have to read all that?
Oh, just a moment. Dear W.C.
Bill, there's no use going any further.
Yeah, that's far enough, yeah. We're calling your attention to your remarks of the 29th ultimo, which cars will be forced to communicate with you prior to the 6th Proximo. What's all this ultimo Proximo business?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Oh, so you won't be dragged into it, eh? Yes, but Chase and Sandbar.
Now, Bill, please.
I'm still reading. Paramount.
I guess there's no way to put a stop to this.
Right there, that'd be patient, Don. In conclusion, we tell you, all we seem to hear from you each week is paramount.
Bill, listen.
Yours most respectfully, Chase and Sandbar.
That's over with.
P.S. Please remember.
Oh, now, Bill, this name business is growing into elephantine proportions.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Did I tell you the story about the elephant?
Yes, Bill. Yes, you talked about that elephant picture last week and exhausted the subject completely. And me, too.
Did I tell you about Scurvy breaking out amongst the extras?
Yes, you did.
Did I tell you there weren't enough ambulances to take him off the hospital? I didn't tell you that, did I?
No, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, there you are. We tied a Pullman car on the side of an elephant and packed the extras into that. One big, strong elephant called Tom. Did I tell you about Tom?
No, you didn't, but don't bother.
We strapped the dining car on each side of him. He carried one under his trunk. We tried to hang one on his tail, but he wouldn't stand for it. Every time he tried to switch the flies off him, we had a train wreck.
Well, what happened when you got to the hospital?
Oh, yes. Clang, clang, clang. What is the sound I hear?
Bill.
The ambulance is coming.
Bill, you've got this all mixed up. It isn't you going to the hospital this time. This was the extras.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Don. Thanks very much. On our way to the hospital, one of the porters left a window open in the Pullman car, and the elephants caught scurvy. Did you ever hear of elephant scurvy?
No, I can't say that I did.
Remind me to tell you about it. All the elephants caught scurvy except Sophie. I once had an aunt named Sophie. She tried to do away with herself by hurling her buxom body at the rear of a train.
Well, now, wait a minute, Bill. People usually hurl themselves in front of a train.
Everybody does, yes, that's right. But Aunt Sophie was very backward. And you know, Don, she's as hale and hearty today as though she'd never taken a drink in her life.
Now, look, Bill. What happened when the elephants got to the hospital?
What'd you say?
I said, what happened when the elephants got to the hospital?
Oh, they wouldn't let them in the hospital. They gave us some lame excuse about the beds all being occupied. Don, did we get into trouble with those elephants? Pull up your chair, man. I want to tell you.
Speaking of old devil trouble, here comes Charlie McCarthy. Say, Bill, I don't think you ought to continue having any arguments with him. Everybody's talking about your feud.
I wouldn't dignify him by having a feud.
Oh, no. Don't be vindictive, Bill.
I'm not vindictive. But I certainly don't want that cord of wood on my knee. If Bergen wants to sit there, it's okay. But I don't want any part of him, Don. Did you ever get oak poisoning?
No.
Now, I'll look out for that guy.
Bill, I really believe he...
Oh, don't talk nonsense. You get people to thinking I don't like the rat.
Bill, will you shake hands with him?
And get splinters in my fingers? Positively no. Why, that little rat...
Quiet. Wait a minute, Bill. Well, hello, Charlie.
Oh, hello, Mr. Nietzsche. Hello, Mr. Fields.
Watch me being polite. Greetings, my diminutive little chum. I trust you are feeling fit this evening?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fields. I hope you're feeling fit.
I am, fit to be tied.
Well, Mr. Fields, I brought you a bouquet of flowers.
What you talking about now?
As a token of my friendship, a little nosegay.
Here it comes.
I hope you'll like it.
I've taken enough from that guy.
Why, what's the matter, Bill?
Look at that nosegay. Dog blossoms, poison ivy, and redwood for a nosegay.
Redwood for a nosegay, and an ample bit of it, too.
Go away, or I'll throw a grub on you.
Now, Bill, don't be too angry with Charlie. He isn't feeling well today. He needs a doctor.
He needs a tree surgeon. He didn't know when I was reading to Dorothy Lamar about burning of redwood at the opening of the new San Francisco Bridge. I heard him say, Fields better keep his nose out of that. Go away, leprosy. Now, did I ever tell you the director of our picture got leprosy?
No.
Yeah, they sent him to Molokai. We had to keep the extras on at half salary.
The extras at half salary.
Yeah, for 18 years. Pending the director's recovery.
Well, did he ever recover?
Oh, yes. The day he got back, the extras formed a group, making a welcoming speech and presented him with a fitted portmanteau. That means traveling bag.
Yes, I know.
I thought you did. Did I ever tell you about my grandmother's portmanteau? This was my grandmother on my father's side. She was on his hip for years. A great companion. She was a drunkard, too.
Bill, they gave the director a portmanteau.
Oh, yeah, you know about it, eh?
No, I'm merely quoting you.
Oh, they gave him a completely fitted portmanteau, a grip, satchel, cabba, keister, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, Bill. Are you going on?
Fully equipped with sleeping shoes, Eskimo mucklocks, folding golf clubs, wire-haired brush, a wire-haired terrier to match, an old-fashioned razor, a set of dueling pistols, and a picture of the great commoner, William Jennings Bryan.
Imagine the extras putting together their little mite to show their gratitude and regard for that director.
Yeah, they also gave him a letter, in a lavender envelope, fully scented, demanding double pay and leprosy insurance.
Well, that was only fair.
But now comes the interesting part of the picture. 2 elephants.
Excuse me, Bill.
One is the
Excuse me,
spell
Bill.
and
Just
the
a minute.
other
I'd like you to meet Miss Hutchinson.
Oh, yes. How do you do, Miss Hutchinson? How are you? 2 elephants.
Bill.
What?
This is Miss Josephine Hutchinson. This is Mr. Fields, Miss Hutchinson.
How do you do, Mr. Fields?
Oh, yeah. How are you? 2 elephants, Don.
Bill. You know Josephine, don't you?
Oh, yes. I knew Napoleon, too. My father owned 2 skeletons of Napoleon.
Yeah, I know. One when he was a little boy and one when he was grown up.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I'm beginning to like Charlie McCarthy.
Well, anyhow, you ought to know Josephine Hutchinson. Remember that grand performance she gave as Alice in Alice in Wonderland?
Oh, yes. How are you, Alice?
No. Bill, look. Miss Josephine Hutchinson played Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, what do you think of that? That's remarkable. That's marvelous. What a coincidence. How are you, Josephine? How are you? We had 2 elephants. One was
I'm feeling fine. I wish you were the same.
Yeah, I wish I could, too. I had 2 elephants once.
Yeah, I know. You had 2 elephants. But, Miss Hutchinson, how about that famous Jabberwocky poem that Lewis Carroll wrote in Alice in Wonderland? We'd like to hear that, wouldn't we, Bill?
Speak for yourself. Let me out of this. Why don't you get rid of her? I want to tell you about the elephant. Alice in Wonderland. Oh, yes, I know. I played the egg in the picture version.
Oh, really? I know. You must have been the egg that fell off that 12-foot wall.
What a memory you have.
Mr. Field, I've often wondered, when you fell off that wall, did you crack up?
I didn't bounce.
How interesting.
Miss Hutchinson, how about Jabberwocky?
Oh, the poem sounds rather silly, but it's amusing, so I fear nothing, and here goes. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves.
Did she say slimy toves?
Quiet, Bill.
Oh.
Did Gaia and Gimble in the wave.
Wave? Oh, she in her cups.
All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome ras outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son.
Why don't
The
you stop her? She's had too much liquor in her coffee. That's wonderful, Miss Henderson. Wonderful. Did you ever... Hey, Don, did you ever hear this one? Muley cob, brittle top trove, Julie O'Brien, Mock McClure, draw. Reby Krantz, room. Pretty little thing, actually, cut out.
Bill, that's great. But Miss Hutchinson was reciting a poem.
Oh, yeah, how rude of you, Don. Go ahead. In relation to that Hutchinson to Pekin, Kansas.
Beware the jub bird and shun the frumious bandit.
That reminds me of an incident that happened when I was in the Himalayas. I was up there with the Prince Ramsey Sinji, the Ketwar of Baroda, and Cooch Bahar. We were killing tigers and civets in deepest Darjeeling.
Are you through now, Bill?
For the nonce, hand me a cup of tea, will you please?
Go ahead, Miss Hutchinson.
Now, this verse is especially for you, Mr. Fields. I know you appreciate good poetry.
Oh, yes, I do.
He took his vorpal sword
And bang! We turned on the machine gun on the rhinoceros.
Long time the Manxton foe he sought.
The bullet struck against the rhinoceros' thick hide and nonchalantly dropped to the ground.
So rested he by the tum-tum tree.
The rhinoceros looked up at us with a grateful smile, licked up the bullets with her great big tongue,
and stood a while in thought.
And so she licked the bullets up with her big tongue. She thought we were feeding her Russian caviar.
And as uppish thought,
royal caviar,
the
$80
Jabberwock
a can.
with eyes of flame came
Thank you.